I'm in my era of saying yes to life. Tonight I'm going to a singles Halloween party with my friend that I met on Instagram. We've met twice in person, and then her friend group that I've never met before. So I'm going with a bunch of girlies that I don't know, and we're gonna go mingle with some men that I don't know. You know what? I'm kind of feeling like it's gonna be a really great night.
I'm in my era of saying yes to life and to strangers. Welcome to the modern dating horror story, a Halloween party where the costumes are cheap, the wine is warm, and the desperation is dressed up as empowerment. She proudly announces she's going to a singles party with a bunch of Instagram strangers and, wait for it, she doesn't know any of them, but she feels like it's going to be a great night. You know what else feels like a great idea at first? Eating Taco Bell at 2 a.m. These girls are walking into a party like it's Sex and the City rebooted in low resolution, thinking Prince Charming is waiting inside. But it's just Kevin from finance wearing a pirate hat and holding a White Claw. And friend, I'm just out here being spontaneous. No, you're just lonely and hoping someone finds you interesting before midnight strikes and your Uber ride home reminds you of your reality.
Guys have made it in and they got to just pick wherever they wanted to sit and who they wanted to start dating. And I'm alone. So many girls. Well, I know we're all like, so the guys paid to be here. That's what's weird. And there's a lot more girls than guys. So that's weird. And it's not a situation of like where you date everyone and you just say yes or no or something. And then at the end, if you both said yes on each other, you hang out later. You ask to match right away and you like give the person like your QR code and then you just like basically ask to match with them. Like the girl, they were saying like, ladies, you should initiate. Like guys love when you initiate. I'm sorry. What? And once you match with someone, you go next door and there's like an open bar and you all hang out. So they're like, we're really encouraging you to match. And I'm like, well, I'll match for an open bar, but I'm not going to match. Like, I don't know. It just like doesn't really make any fucking sense. But there's so many girls here. Everyone's so pretty, but the vibes are a little weird.
I'm tipsy, so I like talking to them. They're nice. And but they're fine. I don't know. Just, free drinks.
So many girls, and like the guys got to choose? Yes, that's how supply and demand works, sweetheart. This girl walks into a singles event shocked that men have options. She's baffled that the guys walk in, scan the room, and pick whoever they want to talk to, while the women are just waiting. Oh no, the entitlement jumped out. But like, why didn't the guys chase us? They're supposed to chase. Not in 2025, darling. Men are waking up. They're realizing they don't need to be ATMs with a heartbeat. Suddenly, the same women who shouted, "Feminism means independence," are looking confused when men stop simping and start selecting. Now they want a match for the open bar, but not for the man himself. So let's get this straight. You want the perks, not the person. Got it. She literally said, "I'll match for the open bar." So what are we doing here exactly? Is this dating or Uber Eats with a side of attention? This is what modern dating has become. Pretending to be interested just long enough to get a free drink, then ghosting him like a Halloween-themed Snapchat filter. And somehow, she still thinks she's the prize.
I say it's a tragedy to be single at 30 when the real tragedy is being 25 and married to the wrong person. And as a girl that's basically done both of those things, I can tell you that's true. I'm 29 years old and I've been single for about 4.5 years because I left my ex-fiance when I was 24. And sometimes I sit here and I'm like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why am I still single? Like, I sit here and I ask myself if I made a mistake because I didn't go through with my wedding. And I ask myself, is it worth it to be 30 and single and have these people think that I'm probably a mess and like probably like not worth loving? I don't fucking know, you know? Like our mind goes crazy, our anxiety goes wild. And sometimes I just don't feel like I'm worthy of being loved. And I don't feel like I'm going to find somebody one day. And that's because I'm getting old. And I feel like I should be married by now and I should have kids by now and I shouldn't be going out to the local bar every Saturday. But you know what? I am. And I'm loving it and I'm having fun. And there's nothing wrong with being 30 and single. 30, flirty, and thriving, baby. We are going to do it and we are going to be okay. And just because there is this weird societal track that we feel like we have to follow, we don't. We literally don't. It is okay to be 30 and single. Okay. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Men always assume this, and I, for the life of me, do not understand. Anytime my friend and I invite guys to come to our singles events, they always assume that it's going to be 80% majority men. Like, they'll be like, oh, like, I think it's going to be a sausage fest. Like, I think I speak for most guys when I say, like, we're not going to come because it's all going to be other guys. That's not the case, ever. Like, gone to multiple singles events. I'm hosting singles events now myself. In every situation, it's majority women. And they're all really cool, fun, attractive women. In New York, women here, in my personal experience, they are very willing to sign up for events. They're willing to put in effort to make connections with people, both platonic and romantic. And I have found it not to be the case for men. So I don't know where that perception's coming from. If anyone has any idea, what is that barrier? The reason that we're reaching out to these men is because it's harder to get men to sign up for these events. And yet when we ask them to sign up, they say they don't want to sign up because they think it will all be men. And it's like, no, the reason I'm reaching out to you is because there is no men. Like, what is it? I don't understand.
Everyone here is so pretty, but the vibes are weird. Translation: there are too many attractive girls and the men aren't groveling at my feet like I expected. These parties aren't about love anymore. They're clout farms with ring lights, and when the vibes feel off, it's usually because reality is sinking in. Men are no longer desperate. They're observant. They're cautious. They're red-pilled. And that scares the glitter off your fake eyelashes, doesn't it? It's a tragedy to be single at 30, or is it? Now we jump to another episode of Emotional Damage, Leftover Edition. She's 29, almost 30, and spiraling in a bathroom monologue worthy of a Netflix documentary. I left my fiancé when I was 24. Was it a mistake? Listen, at 24, you left the guy who probably would have been a good father, a good husband, a good man, because he didn't excite you enough, because Chad from the gym looked better shirtless, because you believed the lie that you could always come back later. Well, guess what? The market closed. There are no refunds. Now you're sitting alone at 2 a.m. whispering to TikTok, do I deserve love? You might, but now you have to compete, and the competition is younger, fresher, less entitled, and not posting trauma dumps for likes. 30, flirty, and thriving, the Cope anthem. Ladies, you are not Jennifer Garner in a rom-com. You are not 13 going on 30. You're 30 going on, why is no one texting me back? This phrase, 30 and thriving, is just a socially acceptable way of saying, I'm not okay, but I'm pretending to be for Instagram. You're not thriving. You're reposting Taylor Swift quotes at 1 a.m. while deleting Bumble for the 7th time this month. We see through the facade. So do the men, and that is why they're not chasing anymore. One of the most delusional moments comes from the woman who's hosting singles events herself and still doesn't get it. She says, we reach out to men, but they say they won't come because they think it's all men. But in reality, it's all women. Yes, exactly. You've got too many women. You're overstocked. It's a buyer's market. And the buyers, aka the men, are doing comparison shopping now. Back in the day, a guy would be lucky to get a smile. Now he has options, access, standards, and the power of social media exposing all the red flags in 4K. Why should he show up to your overpriced, emotionally chaotic singles event where he gets grilled like a job interview when he can stay home, hit the gym, build his business, and talk to someone 8 years younger who actually respects him? But why aren't men showing up? Let's answer her question. Why won't men sign up for these events? Because modern dating has become a trap. If he flirts, he's creepy. If he's shy, he's boring. If he pays, he's expected to keep paying. If he doesn't, he's cheap. If he shows interest, he's simping. If he doesn't, he's emotionally unavailable. Men are tired. They're not avoiding the events because they're scared of sausage fests. They're avoiding entitlement fests. They're done being emotionally taxed for women who think bringing themselves is enough. Here's the twist that these women can't process. Men have options now, and they're choosing peace. Not because they hate women, not because they're bitter, but because the cost-to-benefit ratio of dating in the West is trash. Why chase after someone who's always comparing him to imaginary men from TikTok? Why build a family with someone who thinks marriage is oppressive unless it comes with a luxury honeymoon? Why invest in someone who calls emotional accountability gaslighting? Men are unplugging, and the leftover women are furious. Ladies, you were told to explore, live your truth, chase the bag, keep your options open. Now you're chasing ghosts at Halloween parties, hoping a man buys you a drink. The men aren't dumb anymore. They're not simping for someone who thinks her Instagram following is her value. So keep telling yourself it's society's fault, and men are intimidated by strong women. Meanwhile, the men are building themselves quietly and walking right past you, because while you were out saying yes to life, life said no back. Welcome to Traditional Woman, where we don't do soft lies, just hard truths. Cheers.